So, hey guys, I'm here with my Uncle Jeff.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
We were originally going to do a Q&A, but we did not get enough good questions, so we've scrapped that idea, and we're going to do an interview type thing.
Yeah, so
I'm basically going to let you control the mic.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Hello, Mike. So, we're here today with actor, director, and television personality Cuba Gooding Jr. Hello, Cuba.
Hello.
Okay, no.
I need to compose myself better.
Okay, sorry about. We're here with Ice Cube, and I just want to. We're here with Cubert today.
Okay. Okay.
Huh?
You can continue.
Okay, no. Seriously, folks, I am not in fact a cuber. I'm a fan of cubedom, and I just want to know a little few things. So, number one, how did you get started in competitive solving or cubing?
Like many things, this started through YouTube. I found this community online and discovered that competitions existed, and then I just searched up cubing competitions, and there was one nearby in the near future, so I signed up.
And how did that first competition go for you?
It went pretty well for my standards then, but I've improved a bunch since then.
Quite so. You hold several state records now in Iowa, I hear.
Yeah, I hold 4 right now.
Which are?
3x3 average, Pyraminx single and average, and 4x4 average.
That's very impressive, Brody. So the Pyraminx, that is the odd-shaped thing, yes?
Yes, the one also known as the Illuminati puzzle.
The Illuminati puzzle. That sounds both intriguing.
The triangle.
The triangle
Yeah.
thing? Okay, so if I were at this late stage in my life, by the way, I won't tell you how old I am. But I will tell you that I did watch the original Star Trek series in its first run on network television on a black and white TV that was made out of wood. So that gives you some idea of my vintage. So a fellow like myself that wanted to get into cubing at this late juncture, what would I do?
First you would buy a speed cube, like off of Amazon or something like that. And then you'd probably search to YouTube to find some sort of tutorial on how to solve. And if you just keep practicing from there, you can get pretty far.
All right. So how did it feel the first time you successfully solved a 3x3?
It felt really satisfying because it took like 2 years, and it took like 2 years from like when I first got one to when it was first solved.
Did you do like one turn at a time and then come back to it a week later, or?
Sort of. Like it was one of the old ones, the ones where you really have to like turn really hard in order to get anything to happen.
So tell me about that, because it seems like you're able to, especially one-handed, just flick that thing like nobody's business. So is there a lubricant that you use, or?
Both the cubes that you can buy in Walmart are not designed for speed. They're designed for being basically a brick that if you hand it to a small child, they will not be able to break it.
Sure.
The ones that you can get online, those are designed for speed, so there's a lot of stuff with the mechanism that's a lot more carefully designed, and they're just designed to be fast and they're designed for something else called corner cutting, where when the one layer is not completely aligned, if you can turn, it will still go. And that's something that's almost exclusive to the ones that you can buy online.
Nice. So in terms of material, is this a special type of space-age plastic, or do they carve them out of ivory, or?
It's a different plastic than normal. It's like a softer plastic, but there's not much to it besides that.
Okay. Interesting. So, besides the 3x3, you said you held what records again?
Pyraminx, single and average, and then 4x4 average.
Okay. What is the most challenging puzzle for you to solve?
Most challenging. It's sort of hard to explain because once you learn how to solve something, there isn't really difficulty, and a lot of things can be figured out through prior knowledge. So unless there's something that I haven't seen before, there's not much difficulty there.
I see. Do your hands ever get chafed?
Not really. Like, it used to be sort of tough in my hands when I first started doing this more often, but now I'm used to it.
Okay, interesting. So, are there repetitive motion injuries or other health concerns that that cubers are prone to?
I wouldn't say injuries, but there are things like for example, I have a really bad habit of biting my nails, and that gets in the way a lot. So every once in a while, I started biting my nails again, and I just need to stop solving and let them grow back.
I'm prone to cuticle infections myself. They're very painful. I perfectly understand. So tell us how you prepare for a big competition.
So the night before I start traveling, so then I spend that entire night mentally and physically preparing myself. I do a ton of practice. I go through the schedule of the day of the competition, and I sort of set goals for myself. And the ideal goal is one where you have to push yourself to get it, but it's not impossible.
I see. Okay. And the day of the competition, when you arrive at the venue, what's in your mind? What are you thinking?
When you're at a competition, you really can't overthink it, or you're just going to make yourself more and more nervous. You just need to be able to enjoy yourself and be confident.
Who's your if you have a mentor or a role model or a hero in the solving world?
There's a guy, his name is Kale, who goes to my school, who holds some North American records, and I learned about him when I first started practicing, and ever since then I've been just striving to catch up with him in skill level.
And just a first name?
Yeah, Kale.
Kale.
It's not spelled like the leafy green thing, it's C-A-L-E.
And he just one word, like, share or sting or something.
Yeah.
Kale. Interesting. Do people develop like character personas like in wrestling?
Not really.
Yeah. Is that something maybe you'd want to start, like Brody the Destroyer,
not
or
particularly.
don a mask of some kind?
That doesn't work well with this sort of community.
Yeah, because I can imagine it might lend a little more pizzazz. Maybe get an ESPN 8, the Ocho, to come in and televise the competition. Or?
If that is created, then yes.
Now, I hear that you have actually developed a cubing association here in Iowa City.
It's more of a club than an association, but yes.
Tell us more.
So a club is where, we try to schedule regular meetings, which is sometimes tough because we're all busy people. But we try to schedule meetings at a member's house, and we just all meet and talk and solve and enjoy ourselves. And so the overall original goal was to sort of promote cubing as a hobby in the area. But it's sort of just become a way for everyone in the area to just hang out.
Yeah. So, there is a bit of controversy, I'm given to understand, in the cubing world, that it's sort of a boys' club, and that, a lot of women, young women trying to break into the cubing world have difficulty because gender bias, etc. Is that true, or to what extent?
It's true that it's very dominantly male, but there's no one specific reason that can be identified for it.
Perhaps, what would you say to encourage young women and girls to enter the cubing world?
You can get famous.
Oh, yes. And speaking of which, I understand that you have entered into a bit of a sponsorship agreement with a particular.
I got sponsored, which means that that means that I get discounts from that store. In exchange for whenever I order something, I promote them, say, you can get this here, and it works out really nicely.
Very nicely. So your famous unboxing videos then are to display new equipment, new merchandise, and just introduce us all to premium quality solving equipment.
Exactly.
Is there something? Is there anything like solving gloves or any aids to help you grip?
Gloves sort of get in the way. You want to have the maximum dexterity in your fingers, and gloves are sort of bulky, and they get in the way. So it's best to just have your hands.
Okay. So about that, I imagine. At a tournament, does everybody use the same cubes at a competition?
Everyone, you're supposed to bring your own cubes to a competition. So basically, you're responsible for the quality of the equipment you use.
So you're solving your own puzzles.
Yes, and basically it has to function the same as everyone else's, so there's no cheating involved.
Gotcha. Okay. And is there somebody there to judge whether or not this is in fact a
There's somebody there called a delegate, and they are basically in charge. You need to have a delegate at every competition, and the delegate makes sure that there's no cheating happening.
Very good. And if I were to say wanting to become a delegate, how would I go about that?
You need to become very knowledgeable about the regulations and about how competitions work. And then I'm not certain, there might be an application process, or you might have to just be appointed. I don't know for sure.
Interesting. All right. So just a couple things before we close here. It's a fascinating interview. Thank you for taking this time, by the way.
You're welcome.
Let's talk about the hair. It's become sort of a trademark for you, and I understand you get a lot of comments about the hair. Is it sort of a Samson sort of thing? Is this where your power, your cubing power, really comes from?
Not really. I had the hair before I started cubing, and I didn't have magical powers then. So that sort of rules out that.
And finally, one last question, Brody, and because it's something that I understand is burning in the minds of many of your fans. Are you, in fact, a bagel?
Well, you are what you eat. And I eat bagels all the time. I eat them for lunch every day. So that only leaves one conclusion.
Wow, deja vu. I've seen that before.